Should we call this a mukbang video or what? But guys, this is my current, in fact, my pregnancy craving. Throughout this pregnancy, I've been craving African salad, what we call abacha. Hello guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Diamond Mom here again. You're very much welcome if you're new here. Thank you for stopping by, and please do ensure to subscribe. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys my first pregnancy symptoms, starting from the first month up to the last month, in comparison to these current pregnancy symptoms. Of course, no two pregnancies are the same, but there will be some similar symptoms, some little symptoms that are similar between different pregnancies. So in my first pregnancy, the first symptom I had, the first sign I had was increased urination. Like I would urinate every 10 minutes, so frequently. And the funny part is that I don't even drink water like that. So, but whenever I'm pressed, I would urinate a tangible amount of urine. So I kept on wondering, like, is this it? Is this it? Like, the stress is so stressful, guys. In the midnight, it becomes worse in the midnight. You can't even sleep for 1 hour straight. I would go to urinate for like 3 or 4 times in 1 hour in the nights. It was so stressful. This symptom continued all through my first trimester, and it ended as I stepped into the second trimester. Another symptom I had was excessive hunger. This one made me gain like triple weight during my pregnancy. I was very hungry. I don't know if any other person has experienced this symptom in pregnancy. Excessive hunger, such that if you don't eat at that moment, it will be as if I want to throw up, as if my intestines are coming out, or as if I want to faint. Guys, I'll just finish eating in 10 minutes. The next 10 minutes, it will be as if I've not eaten for like 1 month. My system will be so empty that I used to cook a pot full of food, and because I was working from home then, so I would just cook and make sure that there is enough food, there is enough drinks, there is enough snacks, everything, so that once my hunger starts, I just go and take something and eat to avoid me throwing up or something. But I did not throw up for once in my pregnancy. I did not vomit during my first trimester. I did not. It was only the excessive hunger that comes with nausea, but it will calm down once I just put a spoon into my mouth. It will calm down. But the thing there is that, how will I be hungry and I'll go and dish a food and end up eating only 1 spoon? So I ended up eating and eating and eating. I started my first trimester, I was 54 kg. Guys, in my 13th weeks, that was the end of my first trimester, because that was when I went to register for antenatal in my first pregnancy. I was 65 kg. When I measured myself, I was like, me, 65 kg from where? The thing is that it doesn't even show in my body, because if you look at me, you feel I'll be like 40 kg or so. But I went from 54 kg in my first trimester to 65 kg. So I ate and ate, like I ate without any restrictions. Another symptom I had in my first trimester during that first pregnancy was bitter mouth. You know this feeling, this taste that is usually in your mouth whenever you have malaria or you are sick. Guys, I legitimately suffered this thing for weeks. Like for weeks throughout my first trimester, it was as if I had malaria. So then what I used to do, I used to snack on dates always, or chewing gum, because I cannot stay for some time. My mouth will be so bitter, so I had to be always taking something sweet just to wipe it off. Related to this bitter mouth, because if your mouth is bitter, you have this sick feeling, was lethargy. I used to tell my husband then that I'm feeling as if there is a chemical reaction going on in my body. I'm not sick. I wasn't sick. I wasn't feeling any pain. But my whole body it would just be scratching me. Like, to the extent that I told him then that, see, I don't want to be pregnant again. I want to commit abortion. Because it was as if hydrogen and oxygen, they are doing good in my body. I was so, it was itching me from inside, not from outside. So coupled with that bitter taste in my mouth and this lethargic feeling, it was like, ah, God, I'm tired. I couldn't go to the hospital to complain because it's not something that you can complain about. It's not something that you can be given any drug to cure. So I just had to bear it. But the good thing was that everything ended at the end of the first trimester. Another funny symptom I had, I don't know if anybody has experienced this thing. If you have, please drop it in the comment section. Was this one, I actually complained during antenatal and they were laughing at me. My bum was always paining me. Like, if I sit for some minutes like this, before I want to stand up, if I want to stand up, it will be as if I've been sitting for ages. My bum was always paining me. If I just sit like, okay, then the only solution I had was to be lying down. Because of course I was working from home, so on my phone, so I can lie down and walk. Because if I try and sit down, and this symptom did not only last in my first trimester, it also entered into my second trimester. But it was nothing serious because I complained at the antenatal and they were laughing at me that nothing, that is nothing bad. So I couldn't even take paracetamol for it because it's nothing. It's just weird. It's just weird. There are some changes that goes on in your body when you are pregnant, and you'll be like, ow, where did this one come from? So that was my first pregnancy symptoms for my first trimester. Now, for this pregnancy, remember I said that how I found out I was pregnant in my previous video was through the increased urination. For this one, the first symptom I had was I became allergic to perfume. Normally, you can spray perfume anywhere, I don't mind. You can spray your deodorant, spray your air freshener and all those things. I was lying down in the room one day and my husband came. He wanted to go out. He sprayed his perfume. Jesus. I started sneezing. And then I told him, what did you spray? What is that? Hi, Jesus. I was so angry. I didn't know that I was pregnant then. I didn't know. I was so angry that, what is this? What kind of perfume? What's this? I started sneezing. And do you know that sneezing I started sneezing, it actually turned into cough and catarrh and even into malaria, because the next day it became worse. I had to go to the hospital to complain because it became worse. I was now down with fever and all those stuff. So I became allergic to perfume, and also my sense of smell increased. If you're cooking something down, I will perceive it. If anything is smelling around, I would perceive it, unlike me. So that was my first symptom in this pregnancy for my first trimester. Apart from my increased smell, from my increased sense of smell, and my allergy to perfume, was also bitter mouth. See, I just feel this one is something that is common with all pregnancies. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've been pregnant before, or your wife has been pregnant, or you know someone, I don't know, because I feel, okay, I experienced it in my first trimester and in my first pregnancy, and in this second pregnancy also, I'm also experiencing it. So I feel it's something that is common with first trimesters of pregnancies, because my mouth was also bitter, and what I used to control it was I was always chewing gum. I'm a fan of chewing gum, so it wasn't a big deal for me. I would just buy so many and put in my handbag and throw into my mouth at every time. Apart from the bitter mouth, another symptom I experienced in this second pregnancy, this one, I feel it's because I had given birth before. Of course, body don't, it don't be after one, so everything has already reduced. Is muscle pull. See, this thing is not funny at all. Before I became pregnant, even in my first pregnancy, I don't know what muscle pull is or was. Before I became pregnant, I don't know what muscle pull. I used to hear. I feel it's something that used to affect men. Most people that play football or that run, like athletes. I don't know that women too used to experience muscle pull. I feel maybe my body has already, as it has dropped one, the strength, the elasticity has reduced because in my first trimester, even up to my second trimester in this current pregnancy, muscle pull. And guys, this thing is so painful. And do you know what time it usually happens? It usually happens in the night when I'm sleeping. Okay, because I will sleep on my side, on one side. When I want to turn to the other side, my leg, the muscle pull will hook me in my leg. I will have to wake my husband. I will have to shout and wake my husband, and then he would help me to, he would say I should lift it. I can't even lift it up. He will help me to lift it up and then be contracting it and so on, and all those massage stuff. Guys, this thing is so painful and so annoying. Like every time I sleep, every time I sleep, I usually have muscle pull. I don't know. And also waist pain. When we were small, if you complain of waist pain, they will ask you what did you use your waist to do? What have you done? It's not that I understand that question, because of course I've dropped one now. So the waist pain will not be here. I complained at the hospital. They just gave me paracetamol, and then I'll be massaging it once. So the waist pain was wow. Even up till now, I'm still experiencing waist pain. So I feel it's because I've given birth before, and all those stuff. So this was my first trimester symptom for this current pregnancy. Now for my second trimester in my previous pregnancy, and this pregnancy, normally for me, second trimesters is like time to party, time for extra energy. I won't even feel as if I'm pregnant. Then my glow will be so, like, it will be shining, everything. I don't vomit. Even all the orbital mouth, the increased urine, everything. My allergy to perfume has already vanished. I will call my second trimester potpourri trimester. Like, so much enjoyment, so much flexing, no pain, nothing to worry about. And my stomach is not usually that big, so I don't even feel heavy. I don't have any sickness, no malaria, everything is just normal. So, and extra energy, because during my second trimesters, for my previous pregnancy and this one, I used to be so energetic. Like, I can do anything that any normal woman, any woman that is not pregnant can do. I can do these things and even do extra. So for my second trimester, there's no symptom at all. It is so smooth. Now coming to my third trimester, for my first pregnancy, I've already explained everything in my previous video. The symptoms I had were preeclampsia, edema, gastritis, and all those stuff. So you can go back to my previous video and watch, so that you get to know some of the symptoms I experienced during my third trimester. But for this current pregnancy, this is my third trimester. Like, I would say is my best. Actually, I've only experienced it twice, so I wouldn't know how the third one would be. But for now, this is my best. Like, this is my best third trimester. My energy volume is 101%. Like, in this my third trimester, in fact, I feel if I sit one place, that is when I will even fall sick. Or my baby doesn't even want me to sit at a place. This baby always wants me to be on my feet, doing stuff, doing this, walking, doing this. Don't just sit down. I would be the first to wake up, and I'll be the last to go to bed. Like, I feel so energetic. I don't even feel any pain or anything. In fact, the waist pain has reduced. because the waist pain was worse in my first trimester. In my second trimester it came down, and in this third trimester I hardly feel it. The only thing that I feel I'm now complaining about in this pregnancy is my stomach. My bum is so heavy. My weight is still normal. In fact, I didn't even add up to 10 kg in this pregnancy. For my pre-pregnancy state up till now, I did not add up to 10 kg. So for my weight, I feel light. That is why I can walk around, I can walk for a long distance, do so many things without getting tired. But once I lie down on my side, for me to turn, the whole weight of the baby, of the everything, like, it's so heavy. Even for me to stand up, I would need help. My husband would need to assist me. There are sometimes I would lie down, oh yeah, stand up now. It would be as if something hooked me in my waist because of the weight of the bone. But apart from that, in this third trimester, like, I'm good to go. There is no problem, and I pray it continues like this till the end. Even my legs are not swollen up till now. My face, at least, it's still normal compared to how it's supposed to. My nose is supposed to be so swollen, my face, my body, and everything. So, and there is no, I did not even suffer from any discoloration in my first trimester. In my first pregnancy, I think I had little discoloration, but in this one there was no discoloration of any sort. So see, I just feel for every pregnancy journey, you just have to accept that you have to make certain sacrifices, because without pain there is no gain. You have to sacrifice something to be able to get something in return. But for we sacrifice our body, we sacrifice so much things, because you don't expect your body to go back to the same way it was before you got pregnant. There are so many pains. No wonder our mothers suffer from rheumatism, arthritis, waist pain, and so many complaints. Now I understand better. It's because of the stress, the labor, childbirth. It's not easy. Like me now, in my previous pregnancy, while I was busy eating, enjoying, adding up, I did not have any idea that stretch mark is knocking on the door. Continue eating, continue eating. Stretch mark was actually knocking. Do you know, at the end of my first trimester, my laps that used to be fresh before, hey, stretch mark was so, like, it was so bad. I was like, do you know, see, I legitimately cried. I cried. Like, I would tell my husband, I would bring my old pictures on my phones, and the ones I have hard copy, I'll bring them and be looking at my leg, at my laps, and then I'll be looking at the current one. Hey, I'll start crying that Jesus. And they say stretch mark doesn't go, even if it will fade, but it will not. Hey, I'll start crying. That look at what pregnancy has done to me. Look at, so, and even my stomach, there is stretch mark. So I just feel now, I've come to accept it though, as the sacrifice. If anybody asks me or insults me, I look at stretch mark, I will show the person, look at my children, look at my son, look at, you know. So I just feel is a sacrifice that we have to bear. And also, I missed out something in this current pregnancy. My hormones. In the first pregnancy, I did not have any hormones, any hormonal change or something, just normal. But in this pregnancy, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm pregnant with a toddler, coupled with his, with his attachment to me and all those gummy body stuff. I easily feel irritated. Like, my hormones are always up, ready to snap, to shout. If my son comes, like, maybe I'm not in the mood, I'm actually feeling somehow in my body, lethargic, and he comes, I would so shout at him, like, good. But then later, when I get myself, I'll call him back and explain to him. I feel he understands. Also, my husband also do collect his own. That one, he understands now. And I cry at the slightest, like at the slightest thing, for no reason at all, for no reason. I might just stay like this. One minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm happy. Before you know, I'll start thinking of what's as in of a useless thing and start crying. My husband will come and see me and I'll be asking, what is making me to cry? What is it? What is the problem? But it's just the hormones, it's just the pregnancy hormones at work, like making me to be so emotional. Like, guys, I'm so emotional right now. Like, I feel guilty towards my son sometimes, and I know I owe him a lot. When I put to bed, I'll try and make it up to him, both in kind, like, and in cash, in gifts. I mean, I'll try and make it up to him because he really tried for me. My hormones, because we spend most of the time together, so he's the one that usually suffers from my hormonal change, from my, you know. And finally, my craving. I crave abacha in this pregnancy. Abacha is a craving like that. I so much like, if you want to make me happy, give me abacha morning, afternoon, night. Not the one that you prepared at home, the one that those women hawk, you know, the one that dust has entered. I don't care. That is what my baby wants. Apart from abacha, I also have another craving, which is pork. Like, even if it's 9 or 10 in the night, I can send my husband, see, go and buy pork for me. If I do not eat that pork, nobody will sleep this night too. Like, before my pregnancy, I do eat pork, but it's once in a while and it's not in large quantities. But now, I can consume a cooler full of pork. I basically use pork as my dinner. You just get me pork and a can of malt. It will be my dinner. And when I eat it, my body would calm down. Like, it would be as if I just filled in an empty space, you know. So abacha and pork, they are my 2 cravings for this pregnancy. I don't know, this my baby decided to go local, but I'm sure this baby is not a local baby, sha. You just need to understand that you can't be pregnant without feeling 1 or 2 things. There are some men that have pregnant wives, and when they start to feel some of these things, it will be to them, they will feel like the wife is purposely doing it, or she's exaggerating because your mom did her own. You were not there when your mom was pregnant, mind you. It was, of course, if my children grow up, I won't come and start telling them that I suffered for this. I would put on the strong face for them. So that's what your mom also did for you. And mind you, every pregnancy is different compared to my own. Now, my previous pregnancy, I was down, but this one, you can see the way I am, so agile and so fit. So somebody now should not compare her own pregnancy, or you shouldn't compare your wife's pregnancy to my own, because there are some people, there are some women that when they are pregnant, they will be so fat and all their body will be so swollen, they will be so dark, and you know, and they won't be really presentable. But you will see some women that are pregnant and they, in fact, it's when they are pregnant and they look so attractive. So you shouldn't compare or start saying, look at your fellow woman, look at this, because same person own good for morning, for afternoon if he better, or if he worse, if he spoil. So you shouldn't compare. Just understand and be there, empathize with us, because this journey is not easy. It's not easy. Even though this my second pregnancy did not really disturb me, but for the fact that I am not myself, for the fact that there is somebody else in me, I'm not really finding it that easy, but I'm just trying to be strong for the baby and for my family. You know, it's something that you have to do. You don't have a choice. You just have to carry on along. So that's it, guys. If you know you enjoyed this video, if you know you learned something from this video, please don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. Please help this channel to grow. And please also subscribe. Don't just watch without subscribing. Please help me to subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.